All right, let's dive into a world where, well, words have incredible power. They can transform things. They can turn fear into, like, fuel. In a simple conversation, it can unlock hidden potential. We're going deep into a hypnosis session today.
Oh, cool.
It's led by Virginie Eymere. She's a trainer of Advanced Conversational Hypnosis.
Oh, yeah.
And for all you hypnosis practitioners out there, think of this episode as a masterclass.
Okay.
It's all about how to, make your approach like way more efficient.
Gotcha.
You're going to see the magic of conversational hypnosis in action.
I'm excited.
There are no like scripts involved, none of those rigid techniques, no protocols decided beforehand. Just really skillfully crafted questions that guide the client to their own, like, aha moment.
Sounds fascinating. What makes the session so interesting is how simple it is.
Right.
It shows how effective hypnosis can be when you just, strip away all the complexity and just focus on creating a space, for the client's subconscious to kind of come out.
Exactly. Our client today, they're someone who desperately wants to write a book, but they feel frozen by fear.
Oh, wow.
They've actually been asked for years, to write this book.
Huh.
And they recently had this epiphany that they want to write it.
Oh, that's great.
But then the doubts just creep in.
It's so interesting how that internal struggle plays out, right?
Yeah.
The client sees themselves as like courageous and brave, but they feel like they can never fully follow through on things.
Yeah, I get that.
They even mention wanting to write a book about, the power of failure.
Oh, wow.
But then they're terrified of failing at this book.
Oh, the irony.
It's like a classic catch-22, don't you think?
Totally. And this is where Virginie's expertise really shines. Instead of offering solutions or diving into techniques, she asks this powerful open-ended question.
Okay.
She asks, what's stopping you now from writing this book?
That's a good one.
This, like, seemingly simple question is designed to gently guide the client, to confront their fear head on.
I like that. It's brilliant because by asking what's stopping you now, she's bringing the client's attention to the present moment.
Right.
It creates a space for them to examine their resistance without judgment.
And the client's response is not what you'd expect.
What happens?
They burst out laughing.
No way.
Yeah, they admit, like, that's hilarious that I can't give you an answer. This laughter seems lighthearted, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's actually a really powerful sign that a shift is happening.
Absolutely. The laughter, it signals a release of tension.
Okay.
It's like their subconscious mind is realizing how absurd their own resistance is.
Right.
Which is like the first step to breaking free from it.
And this is just the beginning. As the session goes on, Virginie keeps peeling back layers. And we find out that the client's fear, it goes deeper than just failing at writing a book.
Interesting.
They reveal this deep-seated fear of not leaving a legacy.
Okay.
Like of their book not making an impact.
Makes sense.
And this fear of their work being for nothing, it comes from a belief that they're not good enough.
Oh, wow.
A belief that probably comes from their childhood.
That's really common,
Is it?
We see it in lots of people who struggle with self-doubt, this need to prove themselves, especially to their parents. It can become this, like, subconscious driver that sabotages their efforts.
Wow. So this is where the jewel analogy comes in. The client paints this vivid picture.
Oh, I love a good analogy.
A beautiful jewel lying undiscovered at the bottom of the sea. They explain that not writing the book would be like leaving that jewel hidden forever.
That's a powerful image, this metaphor. It's like spontaneously created by the client. It's a goldmine of information for us as practitioners.
Right.
It's not just a pretty picture.
No.
It's a symbolic representation of their subconscious fears and desires.
Exactly. The jewel, it represents the client's unique story, their wisdom, their experiences that they really want to share with the world.
I see.
And the act of fishing for this jewel, it becomes this metaphor for overcoming their fear and bringing their vision to life.
And what's amazing is that Virginia doesn't introduce this metaphor.
Right?
It comes naturally from the client's subconscious mind,
Wow.
guided by Virginie's skillful questions.
That's incredible.
It really highlights the power of conversational hypnosis,
Yeah.
helping clients tap into their own inner resources and create their own solutions.
That's so powerful. And this is when the client brings up another obstacle. Time.
Oh, yeah, time's always a factor.
They recently went back to a full-time job after years of being self-employed.
Uh-huh.
And they worry about finding the time to write.
I can relate to that.
I think a lot of us can.
For sure.
But instead of falling into that trap of, like, time scarcity, Virginie offers this brilliant reframing technique.
What does she do?
She brings up this quote. She says, if you want something to be done, ask a busy person to do it.
I love that.
It challenges the idea that busy people can't get things done.
Totally. In fact, busy people are often more efficient with their time because they've learned how to prioritize and, maximize their output.
Right, right. It's a subtle but really powerful shift in perspective. By reframing being busy as an asset, not a hindrance, Virginia helps the client tap into this like hidden reservoir of strength and capability.
Exactly.
And it's really inspiring how the client just embraces this new perspective.
Yeah.
Despite their busy schedule, they're really committed to making this book happen.
Wow.
They're even planning to use their upcoming holidays to write.
That's great. That commitment is a strong sign that a real transformation is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing them move from fear and hesitation to determination and action.
Uh-huh.
And this shift, it's even more clear because of some synchronicities the client experiences.
Oh, synchronicities. I love those. I love a good synchronicity story. Tell me more about these, like, coincidences.
Well, the client mentions that the same day as the session, they were reading a book about failure.
Okay.
And this quote really stood out to them. It said, "The man who has had no failure has made no discovery."
Wow, that's perfect timing, right? It's like the client's subconscious is attracting exactly what they need to move forward.
Exactly. And the synchronicities, they don't stop there.
Really?
The client works at a kindergarten, and that week they were learning the letter J and the word jewel with their students.
No way.
And they even had a stuffed fish in the classroom.
Get out.
Yeah, it all ties back to that image of fishing for their hidden treasure.
Those are some incredible coincidences. It seems like the universe is totally on board, supporting the client's journey.
Right.
But these synchronicities aren't just symbolic, right? They have a real psychological impact.
Oh, absolutely. These seemingly random events, they're like powerful affirmations.
Okay.
They reinforce the client's belief in their path and give them a sense of momentum and validation. This is where the power of metaphor and suggestion really shines in conversational hypnosis.
And remember how the client was worried about time management? Well, it turns out they have a month-long holiday coming up for Chinese New Year.
Perfect timing.
It's a great chance to focus on their writing. It's like the universe is clearing the way.
Totally. And the client even pictures themselves sending Virginia a picture, proudly saying, "I wrote the book."
I love that. Visualizing success is so powerful.
Right. It helps solidify their commitment, and it creates this clear image of success in their mind.
It's amazing to see how Virginie, with her carefully crafted questions, guides the client on this journey.
Yeah.
It leads them from fear to excitement, from doubt to determination. It's a real testament to the power of conversational hypnosis.
And what's really remarkable is that this transformation happens without any direct suggestions or commands.
Right.
It's all about gentle exploration and reframing, empowering the client to find their own strength and wisdom.
This session really shows us that the answers we need are often already inside us, just waiting to be discovered.
And the client ends the session feeling empowered and excited, ready to start fishing for their jewel.
That's great.
They've embraced the metaphor, they've seen the synchronicity, and now they're ready to do the work. This is what successful conversational hypnosis looks like.
It's so inspiring to see such a big change in such a short time.
Yeah.
It makes you think, if this client can go from fear to excitement in less than an hour, imagine what we can all do.
Right.
If we ask the right questions and are willing to explore our own depths.
It reminds us that we all have hidden treasures inside us.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be discovered. And sometimes all it takes is a skilled guide and a safe space to unlock our true potential.
This session makes you realize that we often get in our own way,
Yeah, for sure.
We let fear and self-doubt stop us from going after our dreams, from sharing our gifts with everyone.
It's true, we're all holding on to these precious jewels,
Uh-huh.
but we're too scared to let anyone see them,
Right.
let alone share them.
And what's interesting is that the client, they didn't need Virginia to tell them what to do.
Right.
Or how to get over their fear. They found their own solutions.
Yeah.
Just by exploring, their inner world with a good guide.
That's the amazing thing about conversational hypnosis.
Right.
You're not forcing anything on the client.
No.
You're making a space for them.
Yeah.
To find their own strength, their own wisdom.
It makes you wonder, what could we all achieve if we just asked ourselves the right questions?
Seriously.
What jewels are we missing out on because we're too scared to go deep?
Maybe that's the big takeaway here.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to all of us, not just hypnotists,
Okay.
to be curious about our own lives, to be willing to explore who we really are.
It's a reminder that change is possible,
Definitely.
that fear can be beaten, and that each of us, well, we have the potential to create something amazing.
So as the wrap up, think about your own jewels.
Good idea.
What are you keeping from the world? What dreams are you letting fear control?
And what can you do today, right now, to start fishing for those hidden treasures?
The journey might not be easy,
True.
but the rewards, they're huge.
Worth it.
Thanks for joining us on this dive into conversational hypnosis.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We hope it inspires you to unlock your own potential and, share your unique gifts.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, keep diving deep.